Welcome back, everybody. My name's Tim, and welcome to the Flannel Vine. Today, we are diving into a mysterious artifact, the Aztec death whistle, which is equal parts history as well as horror. Now, picture this. A sacrificial victim clutching onto a skull-shaped whistle. Its eerie sound echoing through the temple dedicated to the wind god. Now, the big question is, was it a tool for rituals, psychological warfare, or something else entirely? Lucky for you all, today I have two modern replicas that are available on Amazon.com. We're going to dive deep into both of these. We're going to go ahead and blow through them, see how loud they are, how eerie and creepy they are, and the most important thing, are they worth your money? Stick around as we unravel the legend and see if these whistles live up to their bone-chilling reputation. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, for those of you who do not know the history behind the Aztec death whistle, I'm going to go over this briefly for you, just so you have kind of an idea of where these came from and how they became known today. These were discovered in the late 1900s in a temple near Mexico City, near the wind god's shrine of Iicatl. That is the wind god in the Aztec religion. There was an individual in their early 20s that was clutching onto this, and they were found to believe in some kind of sacrificial offering to the wind god Iicatl. Experts say the original sound wasn't as loud as the modern day whistles that are made and that you can find on Amazon.com, such as these two right here. Now, these whistles advertise up to over 125 decibels, and some go even louder. Nonetheless, one can argue that both are still very creepy and very bone-chilling. Some proposed theories by experts are these Aztec death whistles were made to mimic the wind sound during a sacrifice or help guide the individual after being sacrificed. Others propose that it was just merely used for battle purposes to scare their enemies. And needless to say, if you hear this sound, or if you've ever heard this sound in the dark, and bring yourself back to that time period, you're in a land where there's a lot going on. It's a dark forest or a desert, and you're there trying to battle whomever, the Aztec per se, and you're in basically a land where you've never been before. You hear this sound out of nowhere. I'll tell you, it's pretty bone-chilling. So a book back in the 1913 time period mentioned this in the Toxicatl festival that symbolized the night wind during a sacrifice. As I mentioned previously before, today's replicas are louder, going upwards of 135 decibels, made of resin that are 3D printed, or like these, metal and ceramic, and are used for mainly hunting shrieks. First up is the Deekec clay coppery finished death whistle that is available on Amazon.com. Taking a look at it, it looks like it has the skull shape on it of what you would expect a death whistle on. Now, this one's a little bit different than the other one, provided that it has the actual whistle part right here, whereas the other one is more of a round shape and the whistle's directly in the top. Looking at the bottom, it's a little bit different than the other one that I'm going to show you. You can obviously see that the cutout there is made for the whistle part. Now, the design on itself seems to be like it's made probably by a mold or some kind of casting. Now, this one is made in China. From my experience, it has a heavy feel to it. It isn't as low-pitched sounding as the other one, which you'll see when we go ahead and bring these outside and give them a test. Now, the Deekec Screaming Music Death Whistle is advertised at 126 plus decibels, and this one, like I said, has a very high pitch. It's very hefty. It has a nice design on it. Surprisingly enough, this is rated at 5 stars by other fellow Amazon reviewers. I'm kind of surprised at this, but I do see where they're coming from with their reviews on here. This is advertised as a clay, but it's rather hard. It does have a clay finish to it, but it also kind of feels metallic, which is kind of a downside for me. One thing to mention about the Deekec death whistle is it's advertised at 130 by 95 by 80 millimeters. You can go ahead and see this right here. That's what the box says for the dimensions that is listed right here. Now, this whistle did come well packaged in this box. It has a lot of packaging in it, some styrofoam. It slid in and out relatively easily, but nonetheless, it got to my location here at my house safe and sound, no issues whatsoever. This is the Deekec Screaming Death Whistle that is available on Amazon.com. You can pick yours up by the link in the description below. Now let's go ahead and take a look on how this Deekec death whistle sounds right now. All right, so up first we have the Deekec Screaming Aztec death whistle right here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear what this sounds like. It's gonna be creepy, just fair warning. Here we go. All right, Hazel didn't really like it. I don't blame her. That definitely gave me goosebumps, you can tell right there. And all right, here is the second death whistle I have for you. This is made by ZBoss, and it's advertised as the Real Screaming Aztec Death Whistle. Now, this is advertised as the loudest, authentic sounding death whistle, and advertised at 125 plus decibels. This color is black obsidian. However, it is also available in what they call Aztec Gold. I will say one thing that I do really like about this actual death whistle itself, it's very hefty. It feels nice in my hand, as well as I like the color and the fact that it actually feels like it's handcrafted and made out of clay. One key feature that I really do like about this Aztec death whistle replica is if you look at the bottom, look at that design. That design is pretty neat. I really like how it has that authentic feel of handcrafted, which ZBoss does advertise that actual artists do hand make these, and this does feel like it's genuinely made out of ceramic. Now, I will mention that if you're interested in an Aztec death whistle replica such as this one, this is the Black Obsidian. It is available on Amazon right now on sale for 12% off at $37.95. The usual price is $42.95. So if you're looking to grab this Black Obsidian made by ZBoss, you can go ahead and go to the description below. The link will take you right to that Amazon page. You can purchase it there. Now, as I mentioned before, separate from the Black Obsidian version of this, ZBoss offers this in a what they call Aztec Gold. It's very nice looking. I didn't pick up that one myself because it is slightly more expensive. However, if you like that look, I would go for it. One key feature that stood out about this particular death whistle, that on the actual listing page, it's advertised that it's handmade by indigenous artists led by Rafael Iscahuewa. This does feel like it's made out of ceramic. It's advertised that it's made out of a stone cast clay exterior, and you can tell on the bottom that it has some kind of metallic finish on it as well that can kind of feels like it's going to last a long time. Whereas the other one felt like it's just one solid piece. It still should last a long time. However, this one feels really sturdy and genuinely handmade. Like I said, if you're interested in this, go ahead and go down to this description below. Click on that link. It'll take you directly to this Amazon page. And if you like the other one, that's fine too. The other link that is provided will take you to the other page that corresponds to that death whistle. You can purchase one of them, you can purchase both of them, but please be sure, go ahead, while you're clicking on those links, click on that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you like these type of videos. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what this sounds like, the ZBoss Aztec death whistle right now. Here is the ZBoss death whistle. think. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and comment below. All right, so now we're back inside. Tell me what your thoughts were on each of these death whistles. Which one was your favorite? Go ahead and comment below. I'm really curious to see what everyone's opinions are on these. However, when I review an item, I do have my own little ranking system. And that system's called the Big Dog Rating System. In the first category for the Deekec Aztec Death Whistle is the craftsmanship and design. I'm going to have to give this a fair 3.5 out of 5. My preference is mainly because of this whistle right here. It doesn't really feel nice to me. Now, granted, this does have rather intricate designs, detail, and such. It doesn't feel like it's really made by hand. And again, this is made in China, so it has that mass-produced feel, which if I'm going to purchase a death whistle just for fun, I'd rather have something that's more historically feels like it's accurate and has that just meat and potato feel to it. In the next category, spookiness and eeriness. Solid 5 out of 5. Needless to say, this whistle right here, if you heard this in the dark, you would be scared. I mean, I would be scared. I know that. And a solid 5 out of 5 is more than worthy for the Deekec death whistle. In the next category, durability. Overall, I feel like this one should be a 4.8 out of 5. If you were to drop this, it feels like it should land a couple hard falls. I would not recommend it because it is advertised as clay, even though it does feel like it has a metallic finish to it. I just wouldn't risk dropping it, but needless to say, if you are a little bit clumsy or if you get really scared for some reason and you do drop this, it should be able to last from what it feels like to me. And in the last category, is it worth your money? Now, I will have to give this a solid 5 out of 5. I didn't mention that the price during the up-close view of the Deekec Aztec Death Whistle is $27.99. If you have certain extensions for your browser, whether it be Safari, Microsoft Edge, whatever you use, Google Chrome, sometimes those built-in extensions will have a automatic applied 10% off coupon. Mine does show that there is one for that. And now we have the ZBoss Aztec Death Whistle. In the first category, craftsmanship and overall design, I'm going to give this one a solid 5 out of 5. My reason for giving this a 5 is I personally prefer this one. This one just feels like it's more authentic. It has a nice grip and feel to it. It doesn't feel very sharp. All of the edges on it are very well rounded. It feels like there's a lot of detail, and that bottom of this is just, I don't know why I keep on harping over it, but it's really pretty. It does feel like it's really well made. So a solid 5 out of 5 is more than applicable for the ZBoss Death Whistle. In the next category, spookiness and overall eeriness. Yes, this one too. Again, just as the Deekec, 5 out of 5. If you're outside and in the dark and you hear this, it's still equally just as spooky and scary. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Needless to say, I wouldn't want to hear either one of these randomly if I'm walking through the woods. It would just be really spooky. The next category leads me to durability. This one, I feel like it is going to be a solid 4.8 out of 5. Just like the Deekec, this one feels like it should withstand a couple falls if you're clumsy, but I wouldn't recommend dropping it because just as the other one is, this one does feel like it is legitimately made out of clay. So you want to be a little bit careful with it. However, that solid 4.8 for durability, it should last a fall, but you're going to want to take good care of this because this is a quality item. And in the last category, is it worth your money? Solid 5 out of 5. I would have to say I prefer this one, the ZBoss, over the Deekec, mainly because that's just my personal preference, but I feel like this one at the price right now on sale is well worth the money. If you go down to the description, the link will take you right to it. You can either purchase the Aztec Gold or the Obsidian Black. I personally prefer the Obsidian Black, but kind of liking that Aztec Gold, so I might pick up that one. Who knows? But why would I want 3 Aztec Death Whistles? Who knows? I'm a weirdo sometimes. All right, so that about sums it up for the Aztec Death Whistle replicas that I brought for you today for review. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of the background history of the Aztec Death Whistle and why people use it today for fun or to scare other people. It does definitely have a creepy sound to it. Also, if you do like these videos, go ahead and give me a solid thumbs up, and go ahead and also click on that little subscription button right there and keep up to date on all of the videos that I post. I do have a couple more videos on my channel, and I'm hoping that you enjoy those videos too. Once again, my name's Tim. Thanks for coming to the Flannel Vine. I'll see you all later, and have a good day.